A wise man once said, like a bored drummer. And that stuck with me for a few days after hearing it. So I had my good friend Antipodal come by the other day to make some music with me. And we're just jamming out, having fun. And we're trying to finish a song that we were working on and just trying to push it over the edge. In case you're not familiar with Antipodal, I have a lot of his music down below. Please go check it out. I love his synth programming as well as the drums and how he does like real drums on the Octatrack. It's really trippy because for the longest time I thought he was literally playing the drums. But that led into him saying like a bored drummer because I was showing him kind of like some tips of what I do to kind of help push a song over the edge into a more finished, polished zone. And you can do this with literally any drum machine. I mainly use it in the DAW. Yeah, it's super fun, super easy. So I'm going to show it here in Ableton Live. I have a simple little track going right now. Let me make sure I got the volume up and ready to go. Yeah. All right, so this is it. I literally whipped this up in like 5 minutes just for this video, but this thing's banging. Check out this part. It kind of sounded better earlier when I first made it, but this is coming in way too hot. I'm already getting ahead of myself. Anyway, so what I wanted to show is, so say I do something here in this arrangement or the session view, right? Which I honestly do not like. I still have yet to get used to it. I'm trying really hard. I know people love it, some others hate it, but I'm gonna go into geezer mode for a second. So let's say I have these two parts here, and we're gonna be just playing on the Nord and the drum rack. Cool, so what Taylor Antipodal meant by like a bored drummer was I went ahead and kind of copied this drum part out, right? And of course I have some really strange loop timing for this. Let me just drag this out. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and shut down these two here, and I'm gonna open this up. So this is kind of like our whole little, 8-bar loop. It's very basic, very repetitive, very simple, as most of my house music is. So what I need to do is kind of keep it interesting. And what Taylor is saying is when he's playing drums and he gets bored, he starts doing weird little things. And that's kind of what I wanted to showcase here, was like at the end of every 4 bars or at the end of every 8 bars, kind of introduce some little drum fills here and there. And you can do this with drum machines. You can do this with different patterns. Like the Arturia key step, I think, has like randomize across the whole pattern. That's really fun. And I know a lot of the Electron boxes actually have chants as well as 1:2 or like 2:4 or like these weird kind of ratios and stuff and probabilities of things that will happen. Those are cool, but honestly sometimes I feel like they might just be a little too robotic and they might not always do what you want. So when you kind of just go in here and do what you actually want, it's great. So I've highlighted all these clips. I'm just going to hit Command J and we're going to hit, I'm going to turn off this key thing and hit Z twice. So now we're just looking at the zoomed in version of our keys. Let's play this back, right? Let's say the drummer gets bored right here and he just wants to duplicate that step, but then we'll be a little quieter on this one. So I'm going to zoom in a little and just hold down Command, pull this down. Let's listen to this. Right? Easy. And then here's another one of my favorite. Honestly, like I feel like I'm giving away all my secrets, especially with this video, because this is all I do. I used to be super into this like minimal tech dude named Dale Howard. Not sure if you're familiar. I have a ton of his records. His tracks were beyond simple, like one bass line, maybe 4 or 5 drums going on, but he went hammy on the drums and just pushed them everywhere and every which way. So a lot of my drum fills kind of come from listening to a lot of Dale Howard. I highly doubt he ever comes by and checks these out, but if he does, I appreciate you so much. You've taught me so much just by listening to your music. So check this one out. I'm going to push this one early and I'm going to push this one too late. Basically what this is going to do is create a weird jerk right here. All we're focusing on right now is just the kick. this is going to create a weird jerk right before the second half of this 8 bar, right before the 4th bar basically starts, or the 5th bar starts. That jerk is going to grab the listener's attention. Then they're going to be like, oh, wait a minute, where's the bar going to, or where are we at? Then this clap, okay, you know what? It's not a clap, it's a hi-hat. You just need to hear it. I don't even know. I've never actually tried to explain these things. So here, listen to this. Right? We have the double kick, and then here's the weird jerk. You hear that? There's like kind of this weird little call and response that happens a lot of times with drums. And you can go crazy with this. You can push the clap a little early, bring that one down a little bit. If we go like this, you know, cool. And then maybe we can just randomly say on this clap here, let's just do a double clap, pop, pop. Or maybe one before that. We can go in here and bring that down a little bit. So let's hear it from right here. Okay, so that one, no, I'm not gonna do that. Will not work. Let's go here again. So that one's a little funky because we got the double claps already happening here. So what I'm gonna do instead is move that over here where there's just this single clap, and I'm just gonna quantize this one. Because those claps down here, the little clap, 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 those were not quantized, but everything else was quantized with accent on. So it's just like fixed velocity. Right? Pep up. That one's kind of cool. I like that one. I'm going to just lower it down a little more. And then, I mean, on this last part, we can go absolutely insane. One thing I love to do is boom, boom, and just bring the whole beat forward a little bit. And then you can even bring these over. This is like, it looks crazy. And honestly, it's probably going to sound just as crazy. Maybe I can say clap, clap. We'll grab these two, bring those down. Okay, wish me luck. Let's see what it sounds like. Yes, see, like it looks really weird, but it sounds pretty good. Like I'm down with stuff like this. This is cool because it keeps this same little 1 bar loop that I made on the drum rack here. This one here, if we just play this, right? You go over to notes. Uh-oh, something else is happening that should not be happening. Oh. I don't know what's going on. Oh, this is receiving drum rack MIDI from all ends. I think it was receiving notes from my Avalon. Yeah, it was. Right, so this is just a simple, very, very basic loop that is whatever. But then you start adding all this stuff in. Right, and I like doing things on 8 bar patterns. 4 bar is cool, but take it up a notch, right? Because honestly, like almost every sequencer out there, except for a few, max out their bars at 4 bars, right? 64 step sequences, but just do 128, especially if you're in a DAW, you totally can. If you're on the Electron boxes, do the 1:2 option for the chance, or the 1:4. That'll basically be 1 out of every 256 bars or steps. You can do some wild stuff. So I really like doing 8. I'll go like this. And sometimes what's even wilder is if I do, you know what, let me just go ahead and get these out of the way. So let's say we have this part, right? That bass line is just the modular playing by itself over and over again. So on this part here, let's say I want to bring in this Nord part that I originally thought was kind of cool, but it's kind of whatever. Actually, let's do some Mega Verb. Right? So what's cool here is you can go into this section here, which is our drum rack again. And this works really well if you're doing like jungle or break beats or anything like that. But what I'll do sometimes is instead of editing just the individual notes, I'll just go in here and just grab a section, move it over, and then I hit Option to just copy. And we'll just kind of like paste this around. So I'll say maybe here, and then I'll go back and just paste over a little bit. And this kind of just moves over chunks as a whole. It's almost like resampling MIDI in a weird way. Yeah, that was mean. Okay, a little too early, but super sick. I'm down with that. So we'll say here, boom. And then what's great is like it's pretty much non-destructive, so you can just kind of go back and wipe over whatever you want. Or like, let's say this part happens, and I want it to be a little longer until the boop boop, the little call and response part right here. Like if here, this is what I'm talking about. We'll go like this, ZZ, top. So basically I want it to go up into this part, boop boop, and we're looking at this little part right here. I'm gonna just color this orange. So this is the little weird section sample I took of this MIDI, and I just pasted it, and originally it was like this. I just took the snare part of it, right? But let's say I wanted it to go here. And I'm saying all this so confidently as if this is gonna sound good, but please, who knows what is about to happen. Okay, we're getting a little experimental, but it could be okay. I'm missing the clap. I want to slide this back until I see a clap. There it is, right? And I'm going to use Command to kind of not lock onto the grid. Boom. So let's see what this sounds. Okay, that's kind of cool. Boop, boop. I want it to be like pop, pop, right? So we're going. Oh, hold on. I don't even know where my head's at right now. Maybe I don't. This is getting a little too wild. So right now, basically what's happening is I probably already added some drum fills there. I took another sample of the MIDI and kind of weirdly sampled that over this. And then on top of this 8-bar loop is this whole giant thing, right? This is just, again, don't, or in a way, be the bored drummer, right? Because you want to take the time to kind of think about what you're doing and be like, how else can I spice this up? Because this beat is boring. Let me add a little kick here, a little snare there. And I basically just did stuff on the kick drums as well as some of the snares, but you can do weirder stuff with hi-hats, especially if you have a lot of percussion. I don't know. It's super fun. I love doing stuff like this. Again, Antipodal, thank you, bro. I appreciate you. I have your link to your music and stuff down below. Please check it out. Go tell him I said what's up. And Dale Howard, if you still exist, I haven't kept up with your music lately. Please forgive me, but I appreciate you so much because you taught me way too much about what to do with my drums when they get boring just by listening to your records. And I still have a ton of them. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna mess around with this. I can totally hear a string on this from the Nord. So I'm gonna go ahead and just play that in. Oh, yeah, you know what? I'm going to leave it here. So if you want to support the channel, by all means, I sell some synth merch here, but you kicking it is more than enough. And it's always so good to see you. And I hope to see you again next week. And until then, you already know the drill. Share the love, share the knowledge. Knowledge is power. Peace. All right, let's do this. Okay, so that part is a little weird. I'm gonna just leave it in that one spot. That'll be for the scholars. So then here, Nord. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, this is it. Right out. Yes. Throw what's that, Wolf compressor on the master. Does this work still? Too much lo-fi, too much lo-fi. Right, so okay, not bad. So we'll go here, open this up. I'm gonna color this blue now. It's not a good blue, but I'm gonna just go here, select the kick, hit 0. That's going to deactivate them, but not mute them. Oh, let's just pretend this happened. Actually, let's go one more time. But without this part. Raise against the clock. Raise against the clock. Yes. Right, so then I can just say, all right, this part here. Simple. We'll just do auto filter. Turn this up, automation, pencil tool down. Grab this over here, give it a little bit of a bend. Same thing. Copy this over here. Let's see, that automation is still there, right? Oh, yo, this needs to go into dead silence right here. Just let this ring out. I'm gonna send this to the Verbinator. That's not a plugin or anything. I'm just talking gibberish at this point. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Appreciate you. Peace.